of the NBA.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
And in NBA action tonight, we'll be watching the San Antonio Spurs as they go up against the Minnesota Timberwolves at Target Center. Well, for Minnesota, in preseason, we saw them fine-tune their chemistry and timing, but you never really know how far you've come until the regular season begins. Should be an exciting challenge as they look for their first win of the year. And you love the build-up to a new season. Lots of anticipation. Shaq, what are you looking for?
There were some VIMs this offseason.
Very interesting moves on me.
Oh, you like that? Okay,
Yeah.
I understand. And you got to understand, that kind of shift, that right there can shift the balance of power.
Wow. Last year, the Eastern and Western Conference was balanced out. Well, we'll see if the trend reverses this year.
And that'll take it right up to tip as we go courtside.
A lot of sharp dressers coming off that Spurs bus as they arrived at the arena, pumped up and primed for action. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. Clouds passing high over the 10th Avenue Bridge and the Mississippi River here in Minneapolis. A gorgeous scene. Welcome, everyone. We have a very special treat for you here. No trick, it's the NBA on Halloween. It's a special October 31st matchup. And tonight, it'll be the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves here at their home, Target Center. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And joining us on the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Hey, Dave.
In 2018, the Minnesota Timberwolves broke their league-leading 14-year playoff drought with the help of Jimmy Butler. But a year later, Butler demanded a trade, and the Wolves were back in the lottery. They've got some young talent, but in the West, it's no cakewalk. Kevin, they are hoping they can take that next step with new management and some young, exciting players.
All right, David, thanks. And the starting group for the Spurs. Trey Lyles out there at DeRozan. Then there's LaMarcus Aldridge. Then there's DeJounte Murray. And it's Forbes in at the 2 guard. And for the Timberwolves, Covington at the 4 with Towns in at the 5. Teague is at the point with Wiggins at the 2. And it's Graham in at the small forward position. Doris, there is nothing like opening night in the NBA. Every fan base just teeming with optimism for the upcoming season.
I think all of us are just so thrilled to have NBA basketball back. There's no losses in the losing column. Everybody's happy. Let's tip it off and go.
And guys have that little step, and these first weeks of the season are always exciting.
Oh, no doubt. Everybody's bursting with enthusiasm. Players are fresh.
And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. And so Aldridge will bring it up for San Antonio. Murray with the bounce pass. Here's DeRozan. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Well, we know this about DeMar DeRozan. The mid-range has always been a special part of his game. And, boy, you do not want to let him start to cook from there.
Now here's Teague. He feeds it to Towns, and he uses the glass on the layup.
Well, takes contact, keeps his balance. Nice finish by Towns.
And DeRozan kicks to Murray. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. And it's DeRozan missing.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
Teague against Aldridge. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. It's on LaMarcus Aldridge.
Well, there's so much value in how Jeff Teague runs an offense. He's got great speed. He plays hard on both ends of the floor. I think any organization would be lucky to have this guy.
And last year, a tough one for Jeff Teague. Just couldn't put together his normal level of play.
You know, Teague missed some games with injury, but his shot just wasn't consistent. His passing and playmaking were as strong as ever, but you just couldn't rely on him to score.
Get up, Mr. Covington. That is a very quick riser.
Murray against Covington. Here's Lyles. DeRozan surveying the D. 4 on the clock. And it's good with time running down on the shot clock. DeRozan's got his second bucket of the night.
We call that DeMar DeRozan to the rescue. Knew the situation and barely beats the clock.
Fires from 14, and it's Towns missing. San Antonio's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. DeRozan against T. Murray with it. First quarter of basketball, just over 2.5 minutes play. And here's Towns. Wiggins outside. Pass to Graham. Passes it to Covington. Over Aldridge. Minnesota working with a new shot clock. Here's Towns, and finally they hit one.
Fact of the matter is, Karl Anthony Towns could be a menace on the glass. Good luck with this guy.
And Murray's got the ball here for the San Antonio Spurs. They trail by 1. Kicks it to Aldridge. Outside DeRozan. Over Green. And Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. Towns has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Murray against T. Kicks it out to Covington. All alone. And that comes off the assist by Jeff T. Covington's got his second bucket.
Wow, how about the start to this game? Taking excellent shots, capitalizing on everything the defense is giving him. This is great stuff.
Now here is Aldridge. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Portland.
And it felt like he was literally everywhere on the defensive end. Multiple rejections, stifling all game long.
Again, the miss by Murray. Timberwolves leading by 3. Wiggins drives in. Lets it go from deep. And Jeff Teague with the 3.
And this is Jeff Teague's go-to shot. He's a deadly three-point shooter who never hesitates.
Outside DeRozan. Murray against Covington. Murray dishes to Forbes. Lyles kicks to DeRozan. And the rejection by Towns.
Well, that play is so much about his reach and determination affecting the game defensively.
Pass to Graham. Towns with it. Shoots over DeRozan. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns.
A moment here to check out the numbers for Forbes. Last season's performance for him. Last season, he averaged 11 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. I mean, the numbers aren't bad on their own, but he knows that he can help this team in a bigger way.
And sometimes it comes down to the flow of the offense. One night it's your night, another night perhaps it's somebody else's.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game.
You know, one dilemma that jumps out at me with the Timberwolves, over the years they have been an excellent offensive rebounding team. It's the other end, the defensive backboards, where they have had some problems.
Here's DeRozan. Here's Aldridge. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists.
Boy, what a thing of beauty by DeMar DeRozan. His eyes are up. He locates his teammate. Just so pretty, Kevin.
Baseline try, and again it's Minnesota converting. And Doris, you're right. Over the last 5 seasons, the Timberwolves have been the absolute worst defensive rebounding team in the NBA.
And it's hard to understand, Kevin, because they have created second chance opportunities for themselves only to give it back on the other end. That's the kind of thing that can be demoralizing for your defense. You get a stop, but you don't finish the possession with a rebound. That can wear you out physically and mentally.
Last game for the Spurs, they picked up the W against the Trailblazers. Teague deciding where to go with it. Now Graham. No points in the game yet for him. Right side, Covington. Off the mark from 16 feet out.
Listen, we know the mid-range game is in this guy's arsenal, but you wonder should he have moved it just one pass more.
Now here's Teague. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Philadelphia. Graham. That 3 off the mark. Spurs trail by 4. Murray outside. Lays it up and banks it in.
Well, defensively, to me, you've got to do a better job communicating once the screen comes.
Timberwolves have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Teague against Aldridge. There's the pass to Graham. It's stolen by DeRozan. And here we go with DeRozan running it up the middle. And the rejection by Towns. And stolen by Aldridge. Outside DeRozan. Pass to Aldridge. Here's Lyles. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Towns with the ball. And Towns throws it down.
Unbelievable. That's the big cat. So fluid at the center position.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. And Towns, a player who took a little bit of time adjusting from the college game at Kentucky to the NBA game, especially Doris on the defensive end.
I do think you have to appreciate over the last several seasons Karl Anthony Towns' commitment to becoming a better defender. Listen, he has the length to not only block shots, but to alter shots, and you just want him to have consistent effort on that end.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And so it's Mills who will bring it up for the San Antonio Spurs. 4-point game. Pirtle inside. Defended by Towns. Goes up again. The shot, no good. So Minnesota will take it the other way.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Layman kicks to Towns. Towns is doubled. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
And if you're the guy who has to guard him, it is never going to be an easy night for you.
Mills passes to Pirtle. Gay with it. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. No doubt passing is a premium for this team game of the NBA. We love the individual star power, but it is a team game. Are there any playmakers out there that don't get, Doris, you think, enough credit for all that they do for their team?
Well, the first guy that comes to mind is a man that Steve Kerr described as probably the smartest single basketball player he has ever been around, and that's Andre Iguodala. The numbers in terms of his scoring, obviously not eye-popping, but his incredible defense and then his elite passing skills have been so critical to so many championship teams.
The Timberwolves gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
This is what makes him a challenge to stop. He will beat you from the floor, and he can also beat you from the line.
Now here's Bellinelli. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Cans the 12-footer.
How about the fearlessness? And even in the face of the D, Bellinelli there makes him pay.
Now here's Napier, covered by Mills. To the middle, Pirtle with the steal. On the wing, Bellinelli. Gay outside. Back to Pirtle. Whistle blows. Bucket is good, and he'll have a chance at the line to make it a 3-point play.
Well, Kevin, you love to see him powering through the contact to get the bucket and one. Pirtle with a show of some strength.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. The free throw drops for Pirtle.
So how cool is it, Kev, that Jakob Pirtle makes NBA history as the first ever Austrian-born player in the league? Doesn't matter what else he does in his career, he'll always have that distinction. That's cool.
Culver dishes to Napier. Good, he hits the jump shot. And the Timberwolves lead by 4. San Antonio's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. And here's Mills. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Here's Pirtle. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him.
Well, Kev, this team loves it when Pirtle can make an impact on the offensive glass. There's a lot of ways he can get his points, but this is an easy one.
Now here's Towns. Shoots over Pirtle. That one rolling around and rims out. Passes it to Mills. And it's all evened up.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
1:15 left to play in the first quarter. And he's going up for the alley-oop.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
1:03 left in the first quarter. Mills looking it over. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
I don't think there's any question, Greg. There are so many rules that favor the offense these days. You've got to be able to equal things out when an illegal screen is set. Minnesota
making a switch here. Okogie's checked in.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
Pass to Pirtle. He kicks it to Bellinelli. Launches it. Bangs home the trifecta. Bellinelli's got 5 points so far.
And guys getting into a nice groove here, starting to feel it.
And this is partly what the game has become, right? A matter of dueling three-point opportunities.
Now, here's Culver. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Lehman. Rebound, San Antonio.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for Minnesota. His work on the glass was outstanding in that quarter. Great rebounding. Right back after this break. And in 2018, DeMar DeRozan opened up about his battles with depression, hoping to have a positive impact on others.
A lot of people ashamed to talk about it. Even myself, for a long period of time, people wonder why I was such a quiet guy. And that was part of it, not wanting to speak out about it, not wanting other people to know exactly what I was going through. But you get to a certain age where you feel like it's all about helping others. It's not about you just being a selfish person about the things you're going through. Other people going through stuff as well.
Yep, you love the honesty and the bravery to step forward and tell his emotional story.
Yeah, he opened a dialogue. Kevin Love following his lead to talk about anxiety. Athletes as public figures can have a broader impact than just entertaining, and we see it over and over again.
And it's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
Well, this is the edge that great rim protection can give you.
Total intimidation that first period. That is what has helped power them to this early lead.
On the court right now for the Spurs, they've got Bellinelli. Derek White is out there with Mills. Then there's Jakob Pirtle. And it's Gay in at the 4 slot. Dishes it to Mills. Now Pirtle, and the wide open shot from Bellinelli. A three-pointer is right on target. And now a 3-point Spurs lead. And Napier will bring it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They've got the Wizards ahead of them. Their next game in Washington. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Here's Layman. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Here's Okogie. Mills with the rebound. Spurs leading by 3. Inside. And the jam by Rudy Gay.
And we all know Gay is capable of dunking it. The D can't let him get to that launching pad there. You're only asking for trouble.
And there's the pass to Culver. Napier kicks to Layman. Here's Vonleh. That's a miss. He's made one and missed one. Spurs have gone a nice 3 of 3 to start the 7th. Pass to Pirtle. Back to White. Spurs working the ball around now. Pass to Mills, beyond the arc. He can't get that one, and Minnesota will come the other way. Here's Culver. Good for the basket, starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And how about the balance there from Culver? Really good at staying in control despite the D being all over.
Now here's Mills, not a lot of room. Here's White, got a hand on it. Layman. He's covered by Gay. To the inside. Here's Napier. Mills with the rebound. Spurs leading by 3. Feeds it to Gay. No good with the layup. The Timberwolves have gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. He shoots again, and there's the nice layup by Culver.
I'll tell you, Culver has an array of moves once he gets into the paint.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, my cousin LaMarcus Aldridge is not the flashiest player, but he is respected. His former teammate in Portland, C.J. McCollum, said he hasn't changed his game to try and fit the new NBA. He shoots mid-range, scores under the basket, strong as heck. He knows who he is. Kevin, Marcus isn't really my cousin, but his game never goes out of style.
You're right, D.A., and he is still getting it done. Thank you. Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Robert Covington's checked in for Jake Layman. Andrew Wiggins comes in for Culver. And it's Teagan for Napier.
Clearly a foul.
San Antonio shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And take a look back at last season, and what a season it was for them from the free throw line. 82% as a group.
And in a league that's obsessed with threes and layups, LaMarcus Aldridge defying the trend, really feasting on a steady diet of mid-range jumpers.
Wiggins from outside. Rebound by Murray. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And the dunk by DeRozan.
Boy, how effortless does DeMar DeRozan make those slams look? This guy glides to the rim and makes it look easy.
And that turnaround jumper of Aldridge's. Greg, just impossible to defend.
Long arms, that high release point. When it's falling, well, we saw him give OKC 56. This man can take over.
But they get it back. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Here's what the Minnesota Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Saturday, they'll take on John Wall and the Washington Wizards. Then on Monday, they'll take on Chris Middleton and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Timberwolves been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point. And doors for Jeff Teague. He's not expected to be the scorer on this team that he once was.
And for Teague, to me, that is a blessing, as he is much better suited as a distributor of the basketball. He's got great vision, he cut down on his turnovers, and therefore his assist numbers increased.
Pass to Covington. Here's Okogie. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. That's on LaMarcus Aldridge. And Doris, last season, rookie Josh Okogie ended up contributing more than the franchise thought he would.
Yeah, he was terrific as a 3-and-D player for the Wolves. This guy could end up being the steal of the draft, sort of in that Robert Covington mold.
Doris, you've said this often, it is incredibly difficult to compare guys of different positions in different eras, isn't it?
It really is. There's so many discussions about who's the GOAT, who's the greatest of all potential time. And there are certain names that are always going to pop to the top of the list, LeBron James. But it's very difficult to me, say, to compare a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the greatest to ever man the center position, had the impossible-to-check sky hook. But how do you compare him with LeBron James, who, though he is, and I don't know what position he is, he may be the greatest passer in the history of the league. Like, let's enjoy individual greatness without comparison.
Both shots good from the stripe. Timberwolves trail by 4. The pass to Wiggins. Shoots over DeRozan. Bank shot, no good.
And the fadeaway was the only option he had on that one. Defender there all over.
Murray, no good.
Boy, this guy is a good finisher, so he misses a chippy. That's tough to take.
And it's in there. Okogie's got 7.
Well, late rotation by the defense, and Wiggins has the vision to find the open man.
Pass to DeRozan. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
It's common to see wing players improve their perimeter shooting in the league, but DeMar DeRozan's most striking growth has been his ball handling and playmaking. He's been dynamic with the ball in his hands.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Greg DeRozan watching a ton of films of guys like Andre Miller and Sam Cassell operating in the pick and roll.
Not only that, Kevin, to strengthen his left hand, he'd use it for daily activities like writing, leaving no stone unturned to become an expert initiator.
Now here's Teague. He has 6. Five on the clock. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Second chance shot. That one's not going to go. Aldridge with some nice D. DeRozan. Murray, the pass to DeRozan. Teague against Murray. Back to DeRozan. From outside the arc, they get it again.
Well, they have the advantage, but you still feel like this guy needs to find a way to get himself going.
Outside Teague. San Antonio with the rebound. They're off to battle the Clippers after this game, as they'll be playing at the Staples Center. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road. DeRozan gets the bucket.
Well, the danger factor that DeMar DeRozan adds on the offensive end is huge. He puts a ton of pressure on the defense.
Outside Covington. It's stolen by Lyles. Kicks to Forbes. Wants to get it to DeRozan and does.
Oh, and just a soft touch on both ends of that pretty alley-oop.
I got to say, when he threw the pass, I didn't know where it was going. Teague dishes to Towns. Passes to Graham. Kicks it out to Wiggins. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And it's DeRozan with the ball for San Antonio. They lead by 8. That's the biggest of the game. Outside for Murray. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assist. DeRozan's got 3 assists tonight.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Here's Towns. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Towns has got 15.
Sometimes trailing in the game, players get sucked into trying to make that home run play.
Pass to Lyles. And here is Aldridge. The shot from the low post is good. He's got 13.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
Teague the pass to Towns. Covington in the corner. There's the triple. Second shot opportunity, and it's Towns missing. Spurs leading by 10. And stolen by Jeff Teague. Wiggins with it, now guarded by Murray. And it's Wiggins with the jam.
Well, no one rotates over. Andrew Wiggins makes them look silly at the rim.
San Antonio's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Down low, Aldridge. And Aldridge slams it in.
Not the kind of aggressive defense they need to cut into the lead.
Yeah, you have to protect the rim, Greg, a little better.
They're just too slow to react. You can't afford to sleepwalk through possessions. What's going on out there?
And the rejection by Towns. And gets hacked by the D. He'll go to the line. That one is on Towns.
Boy, showing a lot more aggressiveness now after making 0 trips to the line in the first quarter.
Doris, such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
And he gets the bucket. DeRozan's got the lead up to 14 now for San Antonio.
Boy, has he put his foot on the pedal here this quarter. He's doing a terrific job in terms of leading their offense.
Towns is doubled and stolen by White. And here comes Bellinelli leading the fast break. Graham with the rebound.
Boy, that's too easy to miss, but somehow he finds a way to do it.
Poked away. Napier kicks to Lehman. The Timberwolves working the ball around them. Towns against Aldridge. Here's Lehman. Back to Towns. Over Aldridge. Another miss by Minnesota.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Outside DeRozan. Now the pass to White. Four on the shot clock. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Minnesota making a switch here. Culver's checked in. 36 seconds left to play here in the half. Here's Aldridge. 2 seconds left. Knocks it loose. Tries yet again. And the rejection by Towns. To the paint. Here's Culver. And he gets it to go. Culver's got 6 here in this quarter.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
DeRozan with it. Outside, White. Jacks up a 3. The offensive rebound, Aldridge. And so it's San Antonio, enjoying a 12-point lead as they talk things over during the break. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks a lot. Rudy, it looked like you guys found your old identity in the first half tonight.
Yeah, that's the way we played last season. Our defense was our staple. And that's all we have to do. We have to go out here and play defense every night. And this is a good start for us.
Let's see if you can stay true to yourself in the second half. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. And we'll be right back after halftime to start the third quarter. See you in just a bit.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. We saw LaMarcus Aldridge lighting it up in the first half. He ended up with 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 1 steal. In their previous game, he had a performance he said he wanted to put behind him quickly, and so far he's doing just that with the nice first half he had here. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
You see the strides DeMarcus has made in terms of leadership? He's setting the example, showing the younger guys how it's done. You love his ball handling for big also, and that shot, straight money.
Kenny, let's get your input on the Timberwolves.
I think they're giving this game away because of it.
And that'll do it.
And welcome back to the second half of our Halloween broadcast. We're seeing a tremendous game from LaMarcus Aldridge.
Well, it didn't take him long to get that double-double. Already has it halfway through the game.
That takes a level of aggression and a level of focus, and he has brought it all night thus far.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Covington at the 4 with Towns in at the 5. Teague is at the point with Wiggins at the 2. And it's Graham in at the 3. And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for San Antonio. Pass to Aldridge. Here is Forbes. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. He doesn't usually fire from out there. Miles got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for the Spurs. Here's Teague, and it's slammed in by Teague.
Kevin, that is Jeff Teague just using his speed to go right by the defender. I'll tell you, turn around, he's gone.
Murray, the pass to Lyles. Here is Forbes, covered by Wiggins. Towns with the steal. Wiggins. Oh!
Andrew Wiggins should get a 10 for degree of difficulty. That was beautiful.
San Antonio leading by 11. Last season, it seemed like Towns recommitted himself on the defensive end after facing some pretty significant criticism in that department.
You know, he looked like he was playing with a chip on his shoulder defensively. Towns has always had the capability to be a fantastic defender, and I'm really glad that he's focusing on that part of his game as an area to improve.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
A year ago, he had an 84% success rate on his foul shots, so he was a guy they were always happy to see at the line.
Murray with it, picked up by Teague. Passes it to Lyles. Inside. Here's Aldridge. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest. He's 7 for 9.
And I love how Aldridge uses his size to hold his own against defenders and just routinely scores up over the top.
Aldridge against Covington.
Well, you think about Robert Covington's evolution since entering the NBA. When he started his career in Philadelphia, he got on the floor because of his defensive versatility. But credit this young man's work ethic because he put a ton of time in to become a respectable shooter.
Murray kicks to Aldridge to the left wing. Outside DeRozan. 6 to shoot. Covington with the steal. And now Minnesota on the fast break. The coast-to-coast dunk.
We are talking about length and activity of Mr. Robert Covington. You want to know why coaches love his defensive presence? It's right there for you.
And with Covington, he really has catapulted himself into one of the elite wing defenders, Doris, in the NBA.
And consider after he was traded, he took more of a leadership role because he was the best defender on the roster. And you know this, wherever he has gone, Robert Covington has made a huge difference on the defensive end of the floor.
Greg, no secret that many Minnesota fans are questioning the contract they gave to Andrew Wiggins as his development has seemed to plateau.
And with all due respect to Wiggins,
It would be worth worrying about if you're a Timberwolves fan. Wiggins has taken a step backwards, I feel, the last few years in his scoring and seemingly has lost the edge to his game that made him such a promising young star.
And just tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Graham, the pass to Wiggins. Fades, and he comes up with the deuce. Wiggins has got 8 points.
80% shooting to start the third, 4 for 5.
And here's DeRozan. 14 points for him. Here's Aldridge. And the call on the shot sends him to the line.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Okogie's checked in for Minnesota. The Spurs also changing it up. Jakob Poeltl comes in for Lyles. And it's Mills in for DeJounte Murray. Forbes dishes to Mills. Aldridge down low. Towns on him. And the dunk by Aldridge.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
To the middle. Another shot. Down it drops through the net for his 9th bucket. He is 9 for 13 so far.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And the shot is good. The Spurs lead has been cut to just 7 points in the basket from Covington. And it's Mills with the ball for San Antonio. Pass to Aldridge. Outside DeRozan. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns is for Minnesota. They've gotten 6 of their 7 shots to go down in this quarter. What a fantastic start to the half. And the basket by Okogie.
And since halftime, this has become an intense ball game.
They are getting after it hard. It has become a real battle out there.
The pass to Aldridge. Pass to Poeltl. He dishes it to Forbes. Shot clock at 5. Passes it to Mills to the inside. Shoots from 12. And it's good. 2 points. 7 points for Jakob Poeltl.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Here's Okogie. 9 points in the game so far. The kick out to Towns. And the 3 off target.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can count on him to continue missing.
Pass to Aldridge. Poked loose. Here's Okogie. Right side Towns. Over Aldridge. Towns, no luck.
Listen, he knows he should have made that shot. We'll see if they can work it back to him in that same area.
Now Mills. The pass to Poeltl. Over Teague, and Poeltl gets it to go on the assist by Mills. And it's a 9-point San Antonio lead. The Timberwolves have gone 7 of 11, a lucky field goal percentage here in the third. Pass to Okogie. Towns down low. Aldridge is covering. Towns, no luck. And here are the Spurs. Here's Mills. It's tipped. Poeltl trying to get open. Minnesota shooting in the third quarter has been brilliant, up around 58%. And the basket is good. That's 12 points through Robert Covington.
Well, you can see Covington's speed and transition opportunities. That was a nice job getting out in front.
Mills with it. Now Covington defending. Passes to Aldridge. Shoots over Towns. Add that basket to his impressive total. Brings him to 10 for 14.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
And the Timberwolves call time here.
Well, this is the first full year now for Ryan Saunders. Let's remember he was hired by Minnesota full-time after an interim stint last season. And boy, did the players love playing for him.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for Towns. Jake Layman comes in for Robert Covington. Culver's checked in for Andrew Wiggins. And it's Napier in for Teague. And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Well, Kevin, for the last 5 years, the Golden State Warriors have been the colossus that stood over the NBA. There was thoughts that most teams were not willing to do things to be competitive, knowing that they could not beat the Splash Brothers, Draymond Green, and then Kevin Durant. But the Warriors lost to the Raptors in the finals last year, combined with the injuries to Durant and Klay Thompson, have opened things up. And for the first time in a long time, there are any number of teams in this league that believe it's their time.
Probably so. The West is strengthened. There's no doubt, DA. Interesting matchups coming up for sure. Thank you. And as we know, Doris, Ryan Saunders, the son of the late, great Minnesota legend, Flip Saunders.
Well, certainly the family has history with the organization, but in no way did Ryan Saunders get the job due to name only. This guy proved he can get wins from this Minnesota roster last year. For Saunders, he's known as a player development guy, and the ability to handle superstars is part and parcel to the job.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second chance points in the league. In the third spot, the Timberwolves.
That's an effort stat for me. I mean, it shows you how hard this team works in the paint. They continue to pound the backboard. This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Now here's Mills. Pass to Bellinelli. To the paint. Pirtle kicks to Bellinelli. Clock at 6. From deep three-point range. Rebound by Okogie. For the tie. Rebound San Antonio. Gay's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Over Vonleh. Gay, that's good. Gay's got his 2nd bucket tonight.
And this is an area where Gay is especially dangerous. A terrific mid-range scorer.
Here's Okogie. Bellinelli is covering.
Go into the rack with energy. And the D afraid to cut him off.
Yeah, gotta chalk that one up to some shaky defending.
Yeah, and give him credit for taking advantage in a close game. Those are the types of plays that can swing things in your direction.
Back to Pirtle. Now here's Bellinelli. He's covered closely, but he stays with it. Pirtle, the pass to Gay. Pirtle inside. Vonleh on him. Nice shot by Pirtle.
You're fighting to keep the possession alive, something this guy does so well.
Here's Okogie. Bellinelli is covering. Okogie, the pass to Vonleh. Unable to get that one. Gay with the defensive effort. That's a 2 from Bellinelli, and they cash in right away with the quick shot. And now a 7-point Spurs lead.
Strong move to the 10, trying to get his guys going.
Hard not to get motivated, GA, right when your teammate makes that kind of play.
Where was the defense? No help. You can't afford to give up these kinds of buckets.
There's a minute left in the third quarter. Mills with it. Shoots the 3. Drills it from outside. Mills has got 7 points.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot the D can afford to give him.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And he makes the first. Trey Lyles checked in for San Antonio. And so he hits both. 43 seconds left to play here in the third. And there's the pass to Purdy. On the wing, Bellinelli. He's got 10. And there's the call on Jake Layman. That's his first foul. So both teams making some changes here. Murray surveying the D. Count it. He has 7.
Well, exposing a weakness in the defense, that's just way too easy, guys.
And here's Napier. There's 14 seconds left in the third. Pass to Towns. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Culver passes to Layman over Gay. Here's Graham. And the miss. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs holding on to an 8-point lead heading into the break. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. And we'll be back with you shortly. The fourth quarter has arrived. So good to have you with us. Spurs leading by 8. On the court right now for the Spurs. White is out there with DeJounte Murray. Then there's Rudy Gay. Then there's Bellinelli. And it's Lyles in at the 5. Here's Towns. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Karl Anthony Towns takes the hit, gets the whistle.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
Here's White. Passes it to Bellinelli. Shot clock at 6. Here's Gay. And the layup's good off the glass. And the Spurs lead by 9. And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
Here's White. Offline with his 3. And so it's Towns with it. He brings it up for Minnesota. Here's Culver from 12 feet out. Napier, that's tipped. Bellinelli up top. Inside, here's Gay. It's not going to go for him. Timberwolves trail by 9. The 3. Offensive rebound. Pass to Culver. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Bellinelli.
Yeah, gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
But a really good read on his part, being disruptive at the defensive end right now.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Andrew Covington's checked in for Layman. Andrew Wiggins comes in for Culver. And it's Teagan for Napier. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for the Spurs. No one near him. And he hits the jump shot. Aldridge has got 29 in the game.
And that's just cold-blooded right there. He's taking no prisoners.
Well, when it's closing time, he's trying to lock the door. He's been going all night.
They get it back. Towns. Nice work on the boards. Paying off at the basket. 20 points for him.
Well, just tremendous persistence from Karl Anthony Towns. Even under duress, the ability to stay focused.
And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Murray dishes to Aldridge. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That free throw missing. DeMar DeRozan. He's checked in for San Antonio. Bryn Forbes comes in for Derek White. And he sinks the second. Timberwolves trail by 10. They've been looking at a sink offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Here's Towns. That one, no good. Aldridge with some nice D.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. On defense, Minnesota trailing by 10. Towns wide open. It's good from long range.
Well, that's his second three of the game. One in the first half, one here.
Teague against Murray. The pass to Lyles. Here is Forbes. Here's Aldridge. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Aldridge has got 32 points in the game.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
2-on-1 as they jump out on the break. Here's Forbes. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists. DeRozan's got 5 assists in the game. Teague finds Wiggins. Outside, Towns. Towns is doubled. Shoots from 12. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Towns has got 10 points here in the second half. Murray against Teague. Floats one. Murray, no good.
Well, this has not been his finest hour, but give your teammates some credit for doing the job of stepping in.
Covington kicks to Green. Back to Covington, and the officials call him for a 3-second violation. Spurs leading by 10. Here is Forbes. Ball's knocked loose. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Here's Wiggins, and it's Wiggins with the jam.
Yeah, with those long strides, Andrew Wiggins so dangerous in transition.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Aldridge kicks to Murray. High arcing shot. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. It's on Jeff Teague.
And making his return from the ACL tear, DeJounte Murray, long, athletic, and young. He still has a very bright future.
Teague, the pass to Graham. Pass to Wiggins. And Teague has it in the corner. And stolen by Aldridge. In transition, here come the Spurs. DeRozan leading the charge. And Murray winning second team all-defense in 2018. And Greg, at that time, he was only 21.
And that's been his strong suit. If he can hit perimeter shots consistently, he can be a star.
Yeah, easy call.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio calls timeout.
And you gotta love the mindset of Robert Covington when he plays defense. So active with his hands and feet, rarely gets fooled on any up fakes or jab steps.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Greg Popovich talk to his team. He likes where things are headed, but he cautioned them to play smart the rest of the way. He said carelessness with the ball, with assignments, with rotations, any of that can undo what we've worked to accomplish so far. Kevin, they are so close.
Passes it to Wiggins. Here's the 3.
Come on.
And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession. Spurs leading by 10. Murray right side. And he drops in the layup off the glass. You know, it's easy to see why, Greg, Covington has been named to first team all defense in the past.
The team is noticeably different when his defensive presence is missing. I mean, rare to find a perimeter player who is as good as him, both on and off the ball.
Teague with a clean look. Misses the three.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
Out to DeRozan. Five on the clock, looking to get back on track here. Rebound, Minnesota. And here comes the break. Teague for three. That one doesn't drop. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Here's Forbes. A shot off that time.
You can see he just rushed that a little bit. Lost the focus, I think.
And the shot is good. The Spurs lead has been cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Covington.
Since Covington has arrived in the league, he has come such a long way in his overall game. Great interior work there.
Now the feed to Aldridge. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Aldridge has got 9 points now in the quarter.
Well, you love that they've been able to rely on him time and time again. You love the effort here late.
Outside, Towns. Over Aldridge. Rebound by Murray. Murray's got his 5th rebound in this one. Towns comes with a double team. Back to Murray. Out of bounds. Minnesota takes possession. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That's his first foul.
Since halftime, he has just been in a funk offensively.
And it's Towns missing. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Wow, that's really good work inside from DeMar DeRozan. You know, he knows how to get position where a defender is almost forced to foul him.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. Russ, do you have high hopes for the new draft lottery system to keep every team competitive to the very end of the season?
Well, one of the keys in implementing this new draft lottery system was to make sure that the bottom 3 teams were given equal opportunity to get that top draft choice. I think you did see it have some effect on play and teams trying to be competitive while understanding they're still going to have an opportunity to build their team through the draft. But here's the reality. The NBA has got to be under review constantly. There's a process in play. It's one of the most proactive leagues in the country in terms of always looking for little things to make sure their game is the best it can be.
Attention to detail. Well said.
You gotta love his aggressiveness to finish inside.
Well, his leaping ability gives him a great advantage.
It's so funny to hear DeMar DeRozan joke about being an old man in this league. You know, he may not be a young man, but he's got a lot of years left, and he continues to improve.
Here's Wiggins, and it's Wiggins with the jam.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
At the end of the day, though, it's 2 points. Don't hang your heads. Let's get refocused and play with more patience.
Aldridge, no luck. Timberwolves trail by 14. Wiggins.
Oh. You got to be kidding. Well, Towns showing himself to be a willing facilitator. If you're open, he's going to find you.
And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for the San Antonio Spurs. At one point, they led by 16. He feeds it to Aldridge. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. That one is on Towns.
And this is what we've come to expect from this guy, right? Not only making a ton of shots, but being efficient while doing so.
And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge. Timberwolves shooting a paltry 33% in the fourth. Not a good showing for this offense. Teague, he gets that one.
Well, I'll tell you what, impeccable work from Jeff Teague inside, showing great patience down in the lane.
There's a minute 47 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Aldridge. Here's Lyles. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Lyles. Timberwolves trail by 13. Now T. Wiggins outside. Murray against T. There's the dish to Towns. Just 5 on the clock. Over Aldridge. And again, it's Minnesota.
Karl Anthony Towns reading the situation and finding an opportunity in the mid-range.
Murray against T. Outside DeRozan. 1:04 left in the game. Count that bucket. DeRozan's got 20.
And these are the types of games where one team clearly has the edge. Tonight, it will be a win by a large margin for San Antonio.
They never settled for mediocre shots.
And Kevin, they had great penetration this time out.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year. And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Efficient productivity. You love what this guy has given to you on the offensive end.
Shots good by Lyles.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
No question, GA. They've gotten hot at exactly the right time. Clutch play on a team level.
Pass to Teague. Outside, Towns. Knocked loose. The kick out to Teague. Rebound, San Antonio.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
And they should, because it's when you start turning down that kind of look that your offense can start to bog down a bit.
Chalk up 2 there.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand.
Now here's DeRozan. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thank you. DeMar, we know this team has offensive options, but it looks like there's great confidence defensively now.
Yeah, we have to. That's what we got to do. If we play defense, we know we can score the basketball whenever we want. We just got to get stopped.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Doris.